Welcome back to Satisfactory. We're playing update 8 with Lumen on. This game is amazing. In the last episode we completed the first phase of the space elevator. We sent 50 smart plating into space. And with this we have unlocked in the hub terminal tier 3 and tier 4. The first one that we're gonna go for is definitely coal power. It's really not that hard because we've automated everything so far, right? We have automated the cable, we have automated the rotors and automated the reinforced plate. So we're gonna be able to unlock this very quickly. By unlocking it, we're gonna get the coal generator, a new form of power that is unlimited. It will require though to start playing with fluid. We're gonna have a water extractor and therefore pipeline, pumps, fluid buffer, all those type of things. By the way, when we unlock this, we're also going to be able to scan coal. I'll show you that in a second. But before that, I wanted to talk a bit about coupons and the awesome shop. First of all, you're gonna see that I'm gonna try to get even more points. For example, over here, we're gonna start making a lot of smart plating. But the reality is, yes, I need 500, for the phase 2, but this is not right now. I have time for this. So I can send some of these also into an awesome sink to get more points. But speaking about points, I already have quite a bit. I have 27 coupons, so we can print them, put them into my inventory, and then go into the awesome shop. Because this is gonna be very important to make our first factory. Our first factory is gonna be the coal power plant. We're gonna need, for example, things like labels, right? Not just for the labels, but also for light. We're gonna want for sure the conveyor, lift floor hall, the wall power outlet is also a very good one. Conveyor walls gonna be a very important one. Doors to enter the factory, windows, getting the roof, for example, those type of things. Ladders or walkways. I'm gonna want quite a few, and you can see that it quickly comes expensive. I mean, this is 5, this is 6, and I only have 27. So I don't think we're gonna be able to get everything at once, but we're gonna start. Now, the first thing I want to do though is really go for coal power. Because if you look at my burners, we start to have so many of them and they consume so much. Of course, I could continue using them, I could expand, have more constructors to automate, but then I still need to be manually picking up this solid biofuel, delivering it over here. So it's not infinite. I don't like this. So instead, as I said, I unlock coal just now, and now we can scan for coal. If I press V, I can go scan the different resources that I've unlocked. So the coal one is gonna be an important one. And with this, we can see that there is actually coal just behind over here. You can see it there. I have started the factory. This is what I call a functional factory. So right now there is no walls, there is no beautification, nothing like this, but it works, right? We have the miner level 1, 120 per minute. So 120 per minute, this is actually going to be 8 of these coal generators because each coal generator is using 15 and each of those coal generators is producing 75 megawatts. So with this, with 8, we're gonna be producing 600 megawatts. So basically I've doubled my production. I can stop all of the biomass burners now and just focus on those coal. This would basically be what I'm consuming right now. So yes, we have 8 of these. You can see 2 lines of 4. We have the coal. Let's look first at the coal. Here it is. So the coal, this is a Mark II, obviously belt, right? That goes into splitters. We have a first splitter over here, and it goes with elevators because, as I said before, we have now unlocked those floor holes. So with those floor holes, I can start having the resources going up and down a lot easier. This is basically going to be the base for elevators. Press 4 to put an elevator. It can be on the floor, it can be higher, and similarly below we're gonna do the same where we're gonna put an elevator at the right level. So that's what I've done. If we start going over here and I show you, we have those elevators, 4 on each side, right here too, that are bringing the coal directly into the coal generator. But this is not all. We also need 45 of water per minute, right? So that is pretty important, and this is going to be liquid. This is those pipes over here instead of the belt. And obviously the water needs to come from a place where there is water, right? You can see over here, for example, we have a lot of water, but there is no water everywhere on the map, right? I mean, if you're here, for example, you're gonna actually have trouble finding water. There's no water there. Yes, there is a super small lake over here, but that's pretty much nothing. Versus, of course, over there we have a lot more water. So that's great, that's a good place to do it. And we're gonna need to put those water extractors over here on the water. Now each of these is actually 120 when working at 100%. So with 4, I actually have more than what I need. 3 would be enough. But the reason I put 4 is for 2 reasons. The first one is this way I have 2 and 2, which aligns with my 2 line. I can have 2 for this line, 2 for that line. The second reason why I did this is water or liquid in general are a bit finicky. They're not always perfect, and therefore personally I prefer to always have a bit more of water production than what's needed. So that's what's happening over here. Again, we're putting 2 water extractors, then we're gonna put a junction like this to connect the water extractor, connect them together. Now it's worth noting that those pipes are not directional. They are bidirectional, meaning it can move on both directions. Versus a conveyor belt goes in one direction, right? For example, this one goes on that direction. And this is why we're gonna need pumps to push the water up, because otherwise the water is gonna come back down basically, right? In this case, I have 2 pumps on each of these. All right, you can see there is one there, one here, one there. And so that brings the water back to our main floor where we have the generators. I've also put 2 of these fluid buffer to help make sure that this never stops. I would love to have the ability to put a warning on this when, for example, the storage in the buffer is below 25% or below something like this. I would love to have a warning in my screen. This is not possible, unfortunately, right now in Satisfactory. But anyway, with this fluid buffer, at least I have a bit of buffer if something goes wrong with my generators, with my extractors before all of this stops. And then, yeah, it just goes at the same level into all of those coal generators. So this is how you automate coal power. Now, one thing that is very important is you may remember that the biomass burner, they were only burning fuel when it was needed, right? For example, my consumption was 420. The production with the biomass burner would be just 420. With coal, this is different. Basically, once you turn it on, it is on. You can see my production over here, it's always 600. Doesn't go down, doesn't go up. But the reality is that is not really a problem because coal and water are unlimited, right? It was great for the biomass burner to only burn when I needed it because it was limited resource. Now this is unlimited, so it doesn't matter that much, to be honest. But it is important. Now, as I said, this is only a functional factory. That's not enough, right? We need to make it better. We need to make it a beautiful factory. So let's jump a bit more into the future where I have a bit more points to buy new things in the awesome shop and make this a beautiful factory. But before we see this factory, let me show you that indeed I have increased my number of points. So we have, for example, an awesome shop over here taking the smart plates, right, to make more points per minute. I used to make around 4,000 points per minute, now we're at more than 6,000. So this is great, this is very important because, you know, it's getting more and more expensive to get more coupons. You may also remember that in the last episode, we had found a bit of Caterium. So I used this Caterium to do the first research in the MAM because with that research, I unlocked the ability to scan for Caterium. So going into V, you know, I was able now to go and find Caterium. And there is actually some not far on this side, you know, it should appear on the map pretty soon over here. Yeah, 600 meters. See, there's also some over there, but yeah, I went to that one, 600 meters. And so I gather a bit of Caterium to unlock, you know, the next branch, because the next branch needed 50 to unlock the Caterium ingots. And so then I made a bit of those ingots in the craft bench so that we can unlock the quick wires. This is actually the key productions from the Caterium, right? So that's why I wanted to get it as soon as possible. And also because there is a really interesting gameplay element over here. But first we're gonna need to actually start making Caterium. While I was looking for this Caterium, I actually also found quite a few things. I found, for example, 2 blue power slugs, and I found 1 yellow power slugs. Because there's indeed several colors, as you can see over here. For example, this yellow one will enable us to create power shards. So that's gonna be pretty important. I could also do this one over here. We have the resources to be able to scan for these slugs. So let's do that one. And let me just get also a bit more rotors to be able to do this one in a second. So again, this is why you want for sure to automate all of those resources. So anytime you need any, you can just pick them up like this. So now we can do this one, yellow power shard, perfect. Last but not least, it will be the purple ones. I haven't found one yet, but we will in the future. And now let's build one of those power shards to be able to do the overclocking and underclocking. So we're gonna go into a craft bench just next door and go down over here and craft. It is a 1-to-1 for the blue. I think the yellow is like 2 shards for 1 yellow, and the purple is like 5 shards or something like this. I don't remember. Oh, we can see it over here. Yes, 1-to-1, 1-to-2, and the other one is 1-to-3 or 1-to-5. But now we have 2 power shards, and we also, by the way, killed a few more hogs. So let's do that. So let's go and unlock overclocking. That will be useful in particular for Caterium in a second. I'm gonna show you how that works. So yes, let's take to the sky and fly to my Caterium base. You can often just follow the line because you obviously need power. And here we are. So this is only 1 miner, and this is actually not even a pure one. This is just a normal one. So we're talking only about 60 per minute. But what can I do? But what I can do is give 1 power shard to move to 150. Then I can even give a second one to get to 200 and a third one to get to 250. So that could be quite powerful. I don't know why it hasn't moved, but I think it may be because it's full. Let me just take this. Yeah, now it is 90. And this increase is going to be pretty useful because if you look at the smelter for Caterium ingot, it's actually 45. So now with 90, we can have 2 of these. Now it is worth noting that this will actually consume more energy. Like if I take it out, for example, this is 5 megawatts. Now if I put this back, we're talking about 8.5. So it's definitely more energy, right? You need to take that into account. It's not like free. But obviously, given that you're limited in the number of these slots, like those mining slots, right? There is only 1 around here. This can be really useful. The quickwire production actually is 12 per minute, right? So 15, 12 doesn't work perfectly. You could overclock, but what you can also do is underclock, right? So for example, what I can do is instead of 60, put 50. Now with 50, this is exactly 10. Right? And given that we're producing 30, then it's perfect. That is 3 of these. So let me make that. And this is where also the copy paste of the setting is quite useful, because I can copy all of this and paste it there, and then it's already exactly at 50. That is great. Okay, so as always, we're gonna do first a merger and then a splitter, so we can have 30. I know it's not perfectly symmetrical and all of this, but I think it will do. This is really to get us started on the Caterium, because that's gonna be an important one in the future. Good, so now they're all working. We just need now storage, for example, over here. Now we're actually talking about 50 per minute times 3. So this belt is not even gonna be enough actually. I made a bit of a mistake. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna take those 2 and put it in the storage. And then this one over here, actually we're gonna do something slightly different, which is we're just gonna send it into an awesome sink to get even more points. Because this is also some good points here. Okay, let's do it quick and dirty. So yeah, let's recap. We have 1 miner, which is overclock at 150 to make 90 per minute. This way we can split into 45 and 45, which is going to make 15 times 2 of Caterium ingots. So we have 30 coming this way, and that means 10, 10, and 10, which is exactly what we're taking in each of these constructors to make 50 quick wire each. So 50, 50, and 50. So we're sending 50 directly into the awesome sink, which will going to increase again our number of points per minute. And then we have basically 100 going into the storage container. So that's going to be full also pretty quickly, to be honest. Now let's take some of these to maybe do a couple more research. Going back to the base. So we can do for sure this one, even if we don't get anything, this will start to unlock new ones. So that's important. For example, we have now the Power Poles Mark II. The Power Poles Mark I are limited to 4 connections. The Mark II can have 7 connections, so they can be pretty useful. But more importantly, there is really interesting things over here. Something like the power switch to switch on and off a full factory at once. The smart pleater, to be able to separate different resources, or to say when something is full, then go into the awesome shop. That is really good. And a few others. So again, we're gonna want to go down this one pretty quickly. But yeah, this is good progress on the Caterium, MAM, and Overclocking. Coal power is live, but the factory is not finished yet, right? So we're gonna look at this, and let's look also at our coupons and shop. Here it is, ladies and gents, a few more minutes have passed, and we've bought a few things in the awesome shop. Now we have the small and the medium label. We don't have yet the big one, because we will need quite a few other things, but we have those two. I've also purchased the street light, even if to be honest, I don't really like it. I've also bought the ramp wall bundle so that we can have tilted roofs. So yes, we don't just have the roof, we also have the concrete pillar, metal pillar, road barrier, modern railing, industrial railing. I would have loved to have the structural beam, but that's okay, we'll get that soon. We have the catwalk. I bought the glass roof also. And that's pretty much it. That was already like 50 coupons in total. So we don't have yet everything, but it's a start. And so with this, we have made a factory. I'm not saying it's the most beautiful factory in the world, but it's pretty cool. I mean, I'd love to hear your comments below, what you like, what you don't like about it. And let me show you a bit what I've done. So first of all, over here, we have a mini building on top of the coal mine. And on purpose, I made sure that you actually have the miner that's come out. And then we have a bit of a roof, right? Some of the roof is glass, some of the roof is not. And then going inside, we can see that obviously we have, the coal coming in and going all the way over here. I'm gonna go inside for a bit. Inside I didn't make anything special except I put lights everywhere. So those lights are not actual lights, right? Because if we look into organization, the only light I have is a street light right now, which is quite big. It wouldn't really fit in this. Instead, what we're using is actually sign. In this case, a sign for 4 meters by 1. Basically what you can do when you have those type of signs is in layout over here, you can take out, the icon and all those type of things, just have text. Then you can actually delete the text. Then you can put emission number 3 and you can choose whatever color you want. For example, most of the time, people are gonna choose something very white like this, Snow White. And now you can see, this is white. This one is a bit more yellowish, right? You can choose different colors, but that's going to provide quite a bit of light during the night. Because remember now with Lumen, if you don't have windows, light like this, it's gonna be very dark. But yeah, anyway, that's the first one over here. We have the miner and we go into this room. We can follow if we want, all of this over here. We can also take this door, take these stairs, there's multiple doors a bit everywhere, right? And we have railings all around the base. So that's something also that I did. Then we have, again, all of the coal going this side, and then we have an entrance over here to go down. So taking again to space, you can see in those railings around, right, all the way over here. It goes all the way around. Then this is our main building with our 8 generators, right? We have a top part over here with doors, of course, right? We can go inside. So there's some lights, right? Again, on the walls, we can see all of the elevators, right? All those type of things. But that's not the most interesting, right? The most interesting is to actually go down. Now, all of the foundations are metallic right now. In the future, we'll be able to have concrete ones, to have sign on them. For now, they're all metallic. We've also different types of windows, you can see, right? Looking into my walls, right? We have 4 types of windows over here. So that's what I've been using. Some of them are completely clear. Some of them have this, different sizes. But yeah, then we get into, this building over here, some railings, some stairs to go down, and we get into the main factory over here, right? We have some lights on the wall, also some lights on the top, right? There's windows as much as possible. We can then go down to where we have a water extractor, and this is where I have placed those street lamps. But again, I'm not very happy. I feel like they should provide a lot more light. I'm also not very happy that they only go down. I feel it's not great. So probably won't use a lot of them in the future, but did want to show you. We have also a bit of light on the roof, some railings so we don't fall. There are some pillars there, some pillars on the other side too, right? But yeah, let's go back up, get into the factory. And again, I'd love to hear all of your comments, thoughts, what do you like, what you don't. I'm not saying this is perfect. Again, we haven't unlocked everything in the awesome shop, but I'm pretty proud. I think it looks good. It's fairly functional, not too big, not too small. We have those walkways to go around. Right here, I even have the stairs, so you can easily see what's going on. And yeah, with all of those lights, I don't feel it is too dark. Also put windows here and there to help with this, but I feel like it's looking good. So again, taking a bit to the sky, you can see the back of the factory. This guy is trying to attack me, but I'm in the sky, you can't get to me. So yeah, as I was saying, this is the back of the factory, right? You can see different windows, mixing and matching. We have over here, 1 meter foundation, if you're wondering, right? It's a window, then a 1 meter, then a window, then a 1 meter, window 1 meter, versus other places it's just complete foundations, those type of things. So trying to mix and match. Also the elevation of the roofs, right? This is a 4 meter roof. Here it's also a 4 meter roof versus here it's a 1 meter, here it's a 2 meter. So different roof sizes. The clear roof, I think it looks really good with the 8 chimneys. Here you can see the back of the factory. Again, with a couple of beams over here to ensure that it's supported. And yeah, I can see this is a coal power number 1, my number 1 power station. First actual factory we've done. I really like also this one over here where you have the coal inside. In this case right now, we haven't really played with colors either, but you definitely can. We can use, for example, a custom swatch. Let's put bluish, something like this. So let's go, for example, for the roof here, and start putting it blue. Not sure it works really well, but in terms of the color coding, but yeah, why not? What do you think about it? Obviously, you can do the same with the walls. And so that's 2 more missions. We've definitely gotten more points, more coupons, and bought a few things, and we have our coal power station done. So we can move to the modular frame automation, because you may remember that in tier 2, this was the only resources that we hadn't automated. Now that we're moving to tier 3, this is quite important because we actually need modular frames for vehicular transport, for basic steel production, not for this one, but I'm sure over here we're gonna need some too, here 100, etc. So we want to automate it. And while we have now unlocked walls and all of this, this is actually the last thing that I'm gonna do without a real factory. We're actually going to put it, over here next to all of the other ones that we have. And then in the next episode, this is where we're gonna start to really do factories. For modular frames, we're actually gonna need iron. And to be honest, we don't really have much more iron, right? We're using, when everything is working, 120 for this one, 120 for this one, for this one, for that one. We're theoretically using all of our iron. And we don't really have other iron deposit nearby, except, to be honest, there is one over here. You can see it. It's not that one. This one is copper, but it's somewhere over here. I don't remember which one, but one of these is iron. The reality though is I want to keep it for the next episode, because in the next episode we're gonna go over here and we're gonna do a new resource that requires also iron, but something else too. So instead, we are indeed going to continue using those ones, because the reality is most of those miners are not working right now. You can see they're paused because all of those storage containers are full. So that's why, we're going to use one of these, and given that we're gonna build over here where there's space, we're gonna use that one. We're just gonna continue over here. This is going to give us some iron. Now you may actually see also I've put a bit of black to show you how the factory is going to be. In the future, we're gonna do this a lot better. We'll have different colors and things like this, but this is to help you see how the factory is gonna be. Also, now that we've unlocked overclocking and underclocking, we can easily do a perfect factory, meaning a perfectly efficient one where we are only making modular frame and nothing else. In this case, we're gonna do the smallest one possible, which is one of those assemblers to make 2 modular frames. And this is basically going to cost us only 48 of iron. So that's why, again, I'm just using one of the miners that we already have because it's pretty low amount. But yeah, we're gonna have one assembler for modular frames, one assembler for reinforced iron plates that's going to be underclocked at 60%, one constructor for the iron plate, which is going to be also underclocked at 90%, one constructor for screws, also at 90%, and then 2 constructors for the iron rod. It's gonna be 1.4, so basically, you could say one at 100% and one at 40%, even if in reality, we're not gonna do that exactly. I'm gonna show you in a second. As always, don't hesitate if you have any questions, thoughts, or comments. But yeah, this is what you have to do. So here it is. This is the factory. 2 assemblers, 4 constructors, and 2 smelters. We're gonna start with this smelter over here. This is gonna be for the iron plates. So let's put directly the iron plate. And you may remember that for the iron plate, we actually need only 18. So we can change to 90% or 18. By the way, the night has set on my factory now, right over here, and with Lumen now it's so much easier to see where all the slugs are, right? I can see all of them from so far away. Now that we're flying, we could easily get them, but I don't want to cheat. I want to get normally there. So, I would need to basically put a bit of a ramp like this with foundations. Probably wouldn't be that hard, can do it quickly. Perfect, here it is. 1 yellow power slug for us. Can go back up. Oh, wow, that's a beautiful moon or planet or something. But it looks nice. Love it. The sky is beautiful. Wow. The morning is coming up, I think. So we can restart building the factory. In the meantime, as you can see, I've put also the poles. Right, so we have connected electricity. So to make our 18 iron plates, we need 27 iron ingots. So that's what I put over here, 27. All good. Then this is gonna go into an assembler, right? So we have the assembler over here to make reinforced iron plate. We want to make 3 per minute. So that's how we got to the 18. And then we're gonna want also some screws, 36. So that's what we're gonna have over here. Okay. So this one is gonna be for screws, and we said 36, 90%. The screws are made out of iron rod, right? And how many do we need? We need 9. So that's easy. Let's go. 9. Okay. That's gonna require also some iron ingots. So we'll get to this, but before, let me connect this easy. This one there. This one. Oh, I think this is in the way. Okay. So let me move this one. Okay, so we're making the reinforced iron plate, and then we're gonna want to make the modular frame, taking those 3 reinforced iron plate plus 12 iron rods. Let's connect this to that one. And then over here, we're gonna make more rods, right? And in this case, we said we want 12. Good. 3 done. Connect electricity. 1, 2. Then we need a storage container. Boom. Done. And the only thing we're missing is another smelter. Oops, sorry. The only thing we miss is another smelter over here, which will require a splitter. Done. And you may remember, so this is 12 ingots plus 9, I think. Yeah, so that's 21. So we can go here and put 21. So that's gonna be using exactly what we need. The only thing that's not gonna work nice is, this is a splitter. A splitter by default will just share equally. So we'll sort of send the same amount on both sides. So that's not really what we want, but what's gonna happen is soon one side will be full. So that's fine. Okay, last but not least, obviously we need a splitter here and another there to bring all of the iron ore. It's only 48, so we don't even need a Mark II. Done. That should get started. So it is one way to prime the system is, I actually paused this production by clicking on this button. So this way we made this one full. It's full of iron rod, full of iron ingots. So we have iron ingots all the way over here. And therefore when I start this one, now it's going to be, splitting enough on this side versus that one. This is exactly what we're producing. And then, yeah, we can start making some screws to have the reinforced iron plate and therefore the modular frames. While we wait for this to actually start, let me show you a bit what comes next, because there's a lot of very interesting things. We're going to be able to do all of tier 3, right? We have all of those resources automated. Similarly for basic steel, right? All of this we have, and improved melee combat we also have. Now, if we look at tier 4, there is a lot of interesting things. In particular, over here, advanced steel production, we're going to get minor Mark II. So we're going to be able to really double our production of iron, for example, with those 4 iron nodes. We're also going to get a lot of new products, in-case steel beams, stators, motors, automated wiring, and heavy modular frames. We just made the modular frames and now I'm already talking about heavy modular frames. But yeah, we're going to be able to make all of this thanks to minor Mark II. This will only require steel pipes. That's the only thing we haven't automated yet. And if you look over here, it's the same. The only one we're missing is steel beams. Here, steel pipes and in-case steel beams. Then steel beams and pipe, and again, steel beams. So even for tier 4, we are not missing that many resources. The main one that we're missing are steel. So in the next episode, this is what we're gonna move into. Basic steel production to start having a foundry. Instead of a smelter, it's a foundry to make some steel ingots that are going to be required for steel beams and steel pipes. This will also unlock the second elevator good, versatile framework. We have already started making, and I'm pretty sure we have 500 by now of those smart plating, but now we also need to start doing versatile framework. So again, this is gonna be for next episode. We'll do definitely all of tier 3 milestone, and in particular, I want to make, a giant factory for steel. Another quick thing I need to show you is you don't have to keep those coupons in your inventory. You can actually put them back into the awesome sink. The way to do it is you say print, but instead of taking it, we're gonna put this one back. So now there is 4, and I can quit like this with escape, and if I see now this is 4 instead of 3. We can also see that the number of points to get my next coupon has increased so much. It started at 1,000, now it's more than 160,000 to get one. So this is why you see, it's good to start early and to have basically automated productions that will give you coupons all the time, like these ones over here of quartz. Because yeah, it's 7,000 points per minute, that's pretty good. So let's see, do we have our first modular frames over here? Yes, 2 modular frames, wow, that's huge. But I actually do have something I want to do with this before the end of this episode. So let's go. We're gonna open our first hard drive. You may remember there was one just behind here, over here. I don't think we have any enemies left. But yeah, we can open the drop pod by giving one of these. If I give it 1, then I can open it. Done. And now I have a hard drive. Put in my inventory, of course. Let me just double check if I haven't forgotten anything over here. No, I think all good. So let's go. By the way, you may want to leave something there to show that you've done it. For example, I know many people, they leave a power pole like this. You can even put the power pole in a specific color, for example, pink, to say, okay, that's a done one, versus maybe another color when you haven't done that one yet. But yeah, we have the hard drive, so we can go into our MAM over here. Done. and go there, say scan the hard drive. It's gonna take 10 minutes, and so you'll see in the next episode what we're gonna get. Thank you for watching. Please smash the like button. Tell me in the comments below if you have any questions, thoughts, how can I make this even better, and I hope to see you next time.